welcome back. Do y'all use e.l.f. products, like their makeup, their brushes, whatever? Do y'all use that? I used to use it a lot more, but I've kind of since moved on to stuff that I like better. But now and again, you know, I want to see what's new, what's out there. So one of their many millions of emails that you get from e.l.f., it seems like you get stuff every single week, right? Like more than one a week. But one of them grabbed my attention, so I ended up placing an online order, and I have my thoughts of these products that were released within the past year or so. But anyway, I wanted to start off with skincare and give you my thoughts on everything. And the first item that I picked up is their hydrating gel cleanser. I love a cleansing balm, y'all, but they are so dang expensive, I don't even talk about them on the blog. So I saw this, I said, let's see how it compares. Is it as good? So as you can see, it's clear. It looks to me kind of like petroleum jelly Vaseline, you know, but it doesn't have that sticky of a feel once you rinse it off. But you can absolutely feel it on your fingers. Add a little bit of warm water, apply this to your makeup, and it rinses right away. I have found that this does a pretty good job. I don't think it's going to replace my cleansing balms, but it's an absolutely wonderful option. This would be great for travel as well. And speaking of makeup, for whatever reason today, I decided to use blush, different blushes as my eyeshadows. I don't know. So that's what I'm going for today, speaking of makeup removal. But back to the show. This next product, y'all, this next product is near and dear to my heart. It is the Hydrating Bubble Mask. And I've never talked about this before. I'm probably going to take this out, edit this out, but I get hired occasionally to help develop and to help consult on new beauty products that you see out in the stores. And a couple of years ago, I was working with this high-end brand, and they said, you know, what's missing in skincare? I said, do you think we could develop a mask that once like oxygen hits it, it just starts to bubble on your face? It's like, you know how kind of like when you brush your teeth, it gets foamy, and then, you know, once you rinse your mouth out, you just feel refreshed. I was like, do you think we could develop something like that, but no mint in it, you know, something without like minty dryingness? It's like, what could we do? So I want it to tingle from the bubbles, but not from like menthol or anything. And they ended up using the idea. So like 8 months ago, they came out with the product. It is not this one. But ever since then, I have been obsessed, like once I worked with that company, I've been obsessed with finding any sort of mask that bubbles, and I've tried like tons of them. So I've tried Korean masks. I've tried ones from Sephora. I've tried the one that I helped develop. And this one is one of my favorites. I love this because it's hydrating, because a lot of the bubbling masks, they end up being like they have clay in them or charcoal, so they're more for people with oily skin. But this one, I feel like finally, you know, us dry skin girls got a little something to go on. So all you do is you take off the top, you mash this down, and then you apply a thin layer of this, and as you can see over there, it starts to bubble up, and it just bubbles, and it will just turn into this foam, and it just kind of dissipates away, and that takes anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, but it really does work. Some of them have broken me out or just made me itchy because of the clay or the contents, but this one has been fabulous. So it leaves me with really soft skin. It's not a necessary product to have. I mean, you know, you could put on lotions or do another type of mask, and it does feel very weird when it's like popping on your face. To me, it feels kind of like you have like hair or a fly on your face, and you're just like, I want to wipe that off. So it tickles. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't tingle, but it does tickle. So this was really fun to try. I absolutely loved it. Next up, I have a foundation, and this is actually a foundation serum from e.l.f. And I was really excited to try this because their foundations and their primers just break me out something awful. I've tried them all, and it's because of the silica in it. So I looked at the ingredients in this one, and it said it had silica. I said, I'm going to try it anyway. So I ended up really, really liking it. It has SPF of 25. It's a serum, so it's really liquidy. You put it on, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be super oily, which I don't mind as a dry skin girl, but I know most of you will be like, ah, but it dries to a nice satin finish, and it's what I have on today. I have the color medium, so you can see it doesn't really, not the best matching wise, but I did want to try it. So it's a nice satin finish. I was trying to go for a matte look today. I've got like liquid lipstick, blush, matte eyes. I know, weird, right? So this wears very well. Like I said, you get that satin finish. You would need to do a little bit of touch up maybe around your oily areas, but for me it's fine. But the silica breaks me out. So for me, that makes it a no-go, a non-repurchase. And the other thing that bothers me, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it, but do you see how it's a pump, which I love, but look how it just takes the product right up the middle. So there's really not much product in here at all. So I feel like I'm paying all this money, and it's just kind of like a push pop, you know, it just pushes it up. So there's really not that much product in here. So for that, I wouldn't repurchase it. So speaking of the matte lip situation that I've got going on here, I love my matte lips, especially this time of year, winter. I want to have all the matte liquid lipsticks, which I've tried like 50 of them. You can see high-end and drugstore versions on the blog if you want to search for those. I did the Kylie lip kit on there. That's on if you want to check that out. I've done lip tars, lip paints, any sort of tough, long-lasting lipstick, I've got it. But whether you want to remove it from your lips or your swatches or just testing it out, but this has been wonderful. It's a lipstick remover, and I tried one from NYX last year and it was awful. It was just like really thick, but one of you guys recommended this. Let us know in the comments if it was you, so that way everybody can see that I did not come up with this idea. But you just take it like that, apply it to the lipstick, and it really does get it off. So this, it's much thinner than the NYX one. I would highly recommend this one if that's something that you would need it for, if you need it for that purpose. Speaking of lips, it's winter, your lips are dry, you want to exfoliate them, and e.l.f. has a few options for that. So they have their infamous lip exfoliator that they came out with, and these are not as exfoliating, which some of you would like that, a bit more gentle. So I've got one in cherry here, and I have one in mint. The cherry smells like cherry, this one smells like mint. I like them. Let's talk about some brushes, shall we? Have you noticed as the video goes on, like I start off here, because one girl commented, she's like, your head's too big, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then like as I'm like getting closer to the video, it happens every time, so I'm like moving around and everything. But okay, let's talk about brushes. This one is the big old kabuki brush from e.l.f. Now e.l.f. brushes, you know, they're hit and miss. This, you're supposed to be able to do everything with it. Now I have ones from Eco Tools and from Becca, and I like those better than this. It sheds so much, but this thing is so dang huge. You probably can't tell that it's uneven. So it's huge, and you're supposed to be able to do, you know, like 10 things with it. So what I like to use it for, and the reason I will keep it, is if I'm like putting powder on somebody, or if I'm putting like something on the décolleté area, you know, or just brushing off things. It could be good for that, but I would not repurchase it. Next up, I have some face brushes. I get sucked into this dang contouring brush thing. I have tried high-end contour brushes, ones from eBay, ones from, you know, like every dang brand you can think of. These are my favorite out of the ones I've tried. Now, I mean, I know these aren't gonna last forever, maybe as long as the contouring craze lasts. I have one that's tapered, and I have just like a flat top, and then this is what they look like here. My problem with contour brushes is they're either just too flimsy to do anything with, or they are just too dang big. These are nice, they're soft. I don't think you really need this one. I don't know. Then we have the Selfie Ready Foundation Blurring Brush. I use this to apply the serum that I have on today, which really, you know, you could just apply it with your fingers. But it's soft, it's great, I like it. It reminds me a little bit of Makeup Geek, a little bit of, mixed with a little bit of IT Cosmetics, mixed with a little bit of Real Techniques. Now we're going to end on the super exciting note of brush cleanser wipes. These are just good to have because you never know, you're traveling or something, or you just want a quick clean. You don't want to use alcohol, especially if you're traveling, you're flying around, you just want to grab these and go. I have some from Sephora. I did not like them. I like these a lot better. It's obviously not disinfecting. It's obviously not a deep clean replacer, but if you just need something quick on the go, these do work. So that's it. Let me know in the comments below if there's something that you're like, girl, you've got to try this from e.l.f. It's so good. Let me know if I've got a couple more review videos if y'all are into that, or would you just prefer tutorials? Let me know that. And I think that's everything. So have a great day. Be safe, behave, and be well, of course. Love y'all. Bye, y'all.